Okay, let's see how I do. Let's go. Okay. I need to redeem myself.
Oh, wow. You got me with that trick one.
Antoinette doesn't want to commit.
I'm going to commit right after this.
I researched just a little bit.
Uh-oh, now we're getting to the truth. From liberation to celebration, we're asking the question, have Black Americans reached economic equality? No, there is no researching, no phone a friend, and no ask the audience on this Juneteenth video series that tests the knowledge of 4 Fiserv associates. Our participants are Letitia Jackson, Antoinette Renee, Miranda Dixon, and Kiki Cafaro. Now for some context. It has been 158 years since Freedom Day, or the day we now know as Juneteenth. But what has progress looked like for Black Americans since then? These questions are centered around prosperity, access to capital, and business ownership, and are based on 2020 U.S. Census data, a 2023 CNBC report, the Fed's Small Business Credit Survey, and a report by the AEO called The Tapestry of Black Business Ownership in America. No, there's no pressure. This is all about fun and also learning. So play along and see how well you do. Let's talk about the wealth gap. True or false? Black families' net worth has grown more than other racial groups since the pandemic.
True.
I'm going to say true.
Grown more? I would say maybe false.
Disagree. False.
This one is actually true.
Oh. I'm shocked.
The average net worth among Black households rose by 32% to more than $340,000 through the third quarter of 2022 from the end of 2019, while non-Black families had a much higher starting point at roughly $950,000 just before the onset of the pandemic. Their wealth has risen just 21% over the same period. Black Americans' net worth is 70% below that of non-Black households, but there is steady growth. 20% of Black households are unbanked in comparison to just 3% of white non-Hispanic households.
This is hard. False.
False.
I would say that's true.
Maybe true.
This one is actually false.
I knew it.
As of 2019, 13% of Black households are unbanked, compared to approximately 3% of white non-Hispanic households. This is way down from 42% of Black Americans who were unbanked 4 decades ago.
That's wonderful news, yeah. Because that has so many repercussions down the road and leads to so much less money in their pockets.
There are currently more Black homeowners with increased home ownership value than there were for Black Americans pre-pandemic.
I'm going to say false.
I would say that's true.
True.
I'm going to say false.
This one is actually true.
I'm losing this game. I'm so losing, but that's okay. This is fun.
This is all about learning. Home ownership rose to 44% at the end of 2021 among Black Americans due to lower mortgage rates. This is up from 42.7% 2 years ago, marking the largest percentage point increase of any racial or ethnic group. Additionally, the value of real estate holdings of Black people has risen by 72% since the end of 2019.
There are a lot of positives that are being shared here, although, they're not all positive, and we want to continue the trajectory, but this is good.
We're moving on to access to capital. True or false? Credit approval rates for minority firms are less than half the rate of white firms.
True.
This is true.
Do we know what's causing that? Is it a supposed lack of capital? What's the gap?
This is hard to say. Some reasons are attributed to fewer banking relationships, low wealth, higher credit rates, and more stringent underwriting for minority firms. What we do know is that 28% of minority credit seekers were always approved versus 67% of white credit seekers. And Black business owners reported being more than 2 times as likely to receive less than they requested.
So approved, but approved for less.
Business ownership, true or false? Startup rates are higher among Black Americans than white Americans.
Nowadays, you have more of Black Americans starting Black businesses. So I'm going to say true.
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 I would say true.
Ding, ding, ding!
Yes,
Black entrepreneurial spirit is strong. Startup rates for Black Americans are in fact higher, but so are the failure rates. White Americans are twice as likely to be in business for themselves than Black Americans, a ratio that has existed for over 100 years.
Wow. That reality is deep. Fiserv in general is helping that curve by our Back to Business recipients and giving out those grants, because I know one person in particular who received a grant here in the Milwaukee area. She has grown so much that she just opened up another building. She's growing in our community because the community is giving back to her.
True or false? The median net worth for Black business owners is higher than the median net worth of Black non-business owners. It's a good one, right?
That's a very good one.
I would say that's true.
I would say true.
True.
I'll go with false.
This one is actually true.
That's good.
That is good.
That's good.
I have a bonus question. Bonus extra points, extra credit. Can you guess how many times higher the net worth of Black business owners is versus Black non-business owners?
Go with 10. 10 times?
5 times higher.
2 times higher.
I'm going to say 1.5 to 2.
You're not even close. It is 12.
Yeah.
No way. Wow.
The median net worth for Black business owners is 12 times higher than for Black non-business owners. The business owners grew their wealth more and grew it faster. Additionally, research shows it is not because they started out wealthier. Any closing thoughts before we go?
Knowledge is power, right?
It takes the spirit of perseverance. You just have to keep going and believe in yourself, because self-belief comes first.
I love that our corporations out there helping too with our Back to Business programs and helping everybody move along strong. And we still have movement to make, but at the end here, we're doing good on our journey.
I think about probably both of our grandmothers sitting around going, whoa, can you believe that this conversation is happening? So this makes me filled with joy.